called Afterglow. Hey, maybe I'll play them on Saturday night. You know, we're going to premiere our new metal show here on MMS. It's called 2 Hours to Midnight. Saturday, 10 to midnight. Me, Corey Roddick, Pat Butler.
But that's only available if you listen on the radio, right?
Only available if, well, you could listen on the iHeartRadio app.
Oh, well, that's convenient. But that app's got to cost $1 million.
Boy, you'd think so, but it won't cost you one singular kroner. It's absolutely free. Or as the kids like to call it, free.
AF.
AF. Freef.
Freef.
Your Cleveland Cavaliers win last night over Kevin Love and the Miami Heat. Jimmy
Kevin.
Butler's on that team now, too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been on that team for longer than Kevin Love.
There you go. Well, I know he's been on it for a bit. Kevin Love's the new addition there. Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. I love the girl. Who cares who you like? Different new addition. But the Cavs over the Heat, 104-100 at the American Airlines Arena, and they will play them again tomorrow night. They'll be catting around Miami today.
I know.
Not a care in the world.
You got to be careful. That's one of the toughest places to play, especially if you're going to be there for a few days, because those are all young guys and they got money.
They want to party.
They want to party. And the women down there and the dancing. I don't think it's the dancing.
I'll tell you what, it's the dancing and the women. And there's that bar down there called the Clevelander. And maybe they'll go there. Maybe, we'll be at the Clevelander a week from tomorrow. The Cleveland Clevelander, not the South Beach Clevelander. OG Clevelander.
The one that people want to be at.
There you go. The MMS St. Patty's Day party is going to happen at the Clevelander, right around the corner from us here at 668 Euclid, over there on Huron, and we'll get going around 10 a.m. I was asked this morning if Poundcake should be put on the list. And they said, is Poundcake going to be there? I said, I don't know. He hasn't made that clear. Oh, well, because I need to know if I put him on the list. I said, put him on the list, of course. He's a WMMS employee, and as such, we would love to have him be part of it. So if he wants to show up there, he certainly can. It's not going to be like they're going to turn him away. I was being a little snippy about it earlier in the week, and I said that I was going to have security bodily remove him from the premises. I'm not going to do that, obviously.
Yeah, please don't do that.
It's
because if I wake up in the morning and I decide to come, I really want to be able to come at my convenience.
At your convenience, sure. We are nothing around here if not concerned about your convenience.
I really don't like being inconvenienced.
I understand.
It's really inconvenient for me.
I understand. So next Friday, St. Patty's Day, a Friday in Cleveland. I don't know when the last Friday St. Patrick's Day was in Cleveland or anywhere else for that matter.
I think it was when we were still doing the bar crawl.
Okay.
I think it was when we were doing the one where we'd start downtown, then end up in West Park.
Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, it stands to reason that it would have been 6 or 7 years ago, right? Yeah. Just the way the days lay out from year to year. So we're probably looking at 2017 was the last time that St. Patrick's Day was on a Friday. 2017 was the last time that St. Patty's Day was on a Friday. We had Greg Proops on the show for St. Patrick's Day in 2017. No, I'm sorry. We had Paul Schaefer on the show for St. Patrick's Day 2017, and we had a bar crawl.
So we were just running best.
Well,
we had the bar crawl. I think
I probably did a phoner with Paul Schaefer. Now that I think about it, yeah, and then aired it later on. But it was also the weekend of the Cleveland Comic-Con.
Oh. But that wasn't the one that we dressed up.
That wasn't the one that we dressed up and went to. That was a couple years prior.
That was the 2015 one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, I miss taking the party buses. That was so much fun.
Well, pick up the tab, homie.
I didn't say I was willing to pay for it. I just said I
missed it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Those are fun if we have like everybody along. This year, nobody seems to know if they're going to come. I think Charlie's in. I don't know who else is coming from the morning show.
I'm just saying.
I think Corey is going to be around. Bill and I will be there. I don't know who else. I don't think Stansbury can make it. That's a bummer.
I think he's got his own thing going on.
He's got his own thing going on.
I'll
but
be
anyway,
there.
all that aside, it doesn't really matter. Listen, people say to me, they go, Alan, I'd love to see you. I only care if your new program director, Rob Anthony, is going to be there. And I have to tell him, well, of course he is.
You mean that birthday boy, Rob Anthony?
Yeah.
Birthday boy, Rob Anthony today.
Yeah.
40-something years old. I don't know.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
I don't know how old he is.
I want to say he's like 40.
I've gotten to the point.
42.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point in my career where, like, my management is younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't. There's only a few people here at iHeart Cleveland who are older than me. Well, I shouldn't say a few. There's a number of people older than me who've been with these radio stations for a long, long time. But upper management. These are guys younger than I am. They're in their mid to late 40s, but that's younger than I am. So the people older than me here.
The guy that does Ghost Bag.
Keith Kennedy.
Keith Kennedy, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He's, I think, a little younger than you, or
Right.
about the same age.
Yeah. That dude, by the way, that was very upset, he left a follow-up message, by the way. He's like, hey, he goes, I wasn't saying Keith Kennedy was Ghost Bag. I was saying Keith Kennedy was doing Tom Hanks. No, Tom Hanks is doing Tom Hanks. That's actually Tom Hanks. It wasn't Keith Kennedy.
My favorite segments are when Ghost Bag calls in. I hope Poundcake realizes that all Ghost Bag wants is a friend in me.
You think that sounds like Keith Kennedy? That's Tom Hanks.
It's definitely Tom.
Of course. So, anywho, Cavs win last night.
Big win.
Congratulations to them. Big win. Donovan Mitchell just passed J.R. Smith for the most three-pointers in a single season in franchise history, by the way.
And there's still 14 games left.
Yeah. He's up to 205. Very impressive. Of course, Earl Smith, who likes to go by J.R. I call him Earl because, he used to fly through my neighborhood in his car at 3 in the morning. Just willy-nilly with the speed limit. 2:30, 3 in the morning, coming back from God knows where. There could be children walking around, Earl. Show some respect. But now he's like a big golfer or something. J.R. Smith went back to college.
He went to college. He's on
He
the
was
golf
like
team.
Rodney
Yeah.
Dangerfield in Back to School.
Hey, we're all going to get laid.
Hey! How'd you like to grab my Longfellow?
He brought Rodney Dangerfield in Caddyshack and then combined it with Back to School, making, he's back in college
Mhm.
and he's playing golf. So
Yep.
he's got it all combined into one.
Yeah, JR's like Happy Gilmore, but in college. He wants to be Shooter McGavin, I guess. So congratulations to Donovan Mitchell, newly minted Cavalier, by the way, who's got the most three-pointers in a single season in franchise history. Now, here's the rub. They don't tell you which franchise. They don't tell you Subway, McDonald's, Burger King.
Alan, this is going to blow your mind.
I'm sorry?
This is going to blow your mind.
Hmm.
They mean the Cavaliers franchise.
But there's only one of those. I mean,
Right.
every city. Well, I'll take your word for it, but that doesn't seem to be. Okay. Well, I have food news, nevertheless.
I hope that didn't ruin your day.
Nothing can ruin my day. I feel so good today, nothing can ruin it.
Challenge accepted.
I'm lying. Hey, listen.
Poundcake's on it.
I'm working on it as we speak.
Well, I'm waiting to see what you come up with. I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, and people thought I was kidding about sushi terrorism. This is what these are primarily these restaurants in Japan that have to contend with this. But I mentioned about how we went to one of these sushi conveyor belt restaurants over the weekend. And if you haven't been there yet, there's one down in Parma, Seven Hills, that area. It's called Watami. And I don't know if it's the only one of its kind in the area. I have to think that even if it is, there are going to be a lot of other people taking that concept and doing something with it. But if you've never been to a sushi conveyor belt restaurant, it's really a thing of beauty. You sit there in your booth or at your table, and you are encircled in every possible direction with a conveyor belt at about eye level. And they're just putting food on it. And the plates are color-coded. They're small. You get 2 or 3 little rolls of sushi there. but they've also got the beverages, and they've got the desserts, and you have a color-coded menu. So it's like, you want cooked sushi, you grab a black or a red plate. You want it raw, yellow or green. They've got their corresponding costs. But everybody in this place, you end up, when you're getting the check, with like 15 plates of various colors on you. It's fantastic. It's fun. But the Japanese, who've been doing this for a long, long time, they have to contend with what they call sushi terrorism, which, listen, it's a little dramatic. But because of all the kids and their prank videos, the kids love their pranks.
They do like their pranks.
They have Japanese kids TikToking themselves licking a soy sauce bottle or picking up a plate, licking the sushi and putting the dome back on and letting it on. Remember we had those kids that were taking the ice cream in Texas and they would lick the ice cream and then put it back in the thing?
I was thinking Ariana Grande did that, but she licked
did
a
a donut, yeah.
But it's still just as bad.
Yeah.
Wasn't she doing that in a controlled environment?
No, she was in a donut shop.
Right, but she kind of did it for the gram, but I assumed she licked it and put it back, but she was going to take it. Like, somebody at that level, they're licking donuts and then just walking away?
Well, that was the whole thing. She was in a donut shop, and she licked the donut and was, like, laughing about how unhealthy it is to eat donuts, and she was like, I hate America. We're all so fat. But
except she's not fat at all. She's like 75 pounds. So what does she mean, we're all fat? We're all fat. She's not fat.
Well, this is what she did. I don't know why she did it.
Was she ever charged with donut terrorism?
No, I imagine that donut went for so much more. They're like, this is the donut that Ariana Grande licked. Who wants to buy it?
Yeah, right? I remember auctioning off Gwen Stefani's gum years ago.
Did she lick the whole donut?
Yeah, the one right next to it.
Oh.
People still hit me up and tell me they don't get that joke. Like, it's a homophone joke. The whole finger? H-O-L-E. No, the one right next to it. There you go. I think people are
They're overthinking.
complicating it, yes. Which everyone can be prone to.
It's a fingering joke.
Sure! Anyway, the Japanese are really having to contend with what they're calling sushi terrorism, with all these pranksters licking stuff, licking chopsticks, putting cigarette butts in the food.
Not cool stuff. I have an idea for a restaurant. You know how these conveyor belt restaurants are all the rage, but people are going to get tired of it. So, did you ever do
Impossible.
the rain gutter regatta?
Yes.
When you were in Cub Scouts?
Well, when my son was in Cub Scouts, I don't recall doing it. I'm sure I did it and lost terribly. I remember doing the boxcar, what was it? The Pinewood Derby.
Yeah.
Pinewood Derby. But when my son was younger and was in Boy Scouts, I remember doing the rain gutter regatta with him.
So, I want a rain gutter regatta type restaurant where the food goes around on little boats, and then
That's so cool.
And then the instead of using water to set them around, it's broth. So it's all food that you can dip in a broth.
It's miso?
Yeah.
I would love that.
Tepid broth?
Place.
So instead of, I thought you meant that instead of the conveyor, it would just be like little canals, little rivulets of water around the restaurant.
It'd be like eating
boats
in Venice.
But also, I would think that with that water constantly moving, you run the risk of ending up with damp food.
That's part of the skill, is keeping the food from falling into the water.
Yeah, but again, I'm not trying to have a skill. I just want to eat.
People like a gimmick.
I guess
what
they
can
do.
I say? They like a gimmick. So
yeah,
the rain
gutter regatta piccata is what we call this restaurant. Boy, it's delicious. It's chicken. It's sushi.
I love that Poundcake is really into it. Like,
he loves it.
I think that would be neat.
They got the restaurant that has the train that brings the food out in Wisconsin.
Like drones, like that. That's all the future. Like, just have your stuff dropped
you
off,
just made a mess.
like a care package, or like you're on a deserted island. Oh, that could be the name of the restaurant, Deserted Island. And then just your dessert just comes down. Your cheesecake is just like dropped from a drone, plop, and there you go. Ah, I got it. Trademark.
The Plop restaurant is Poundcake's Plop, with locations in Willoughby, Medina, and Avon Lake.
They come for our famous SOS sauce. You got to have.
What does that stand for?
Like if you're on a deserted island.
Like the Army SOS? Shrimp
Yeah.
on a shingle? Okay.
Or Save Our Souls, whatever it is.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Ooh, I like this idea. Let me invest in a restaurant, somebody. I got
Well,
$13.
the one that Bill, the one that you'll be a minority owner. The one Bill's talking about would then have to contend with some kind of maritime law. It wouldn't be sushi terrorism. It would be some kind of pirate-oriented thing. Maritime law violation.
But that's kind of the fun of it. Is like, are you coming here? You're going to be part of. Are you going to be a pirate? Are you going to be a regatta pirate?
Mm-hmm. Or are you going to be a functioning member of society?
Right.
I just see. This is why we can't have nice things. By the way, let's just enjoy a concept for what it is. Why people have to lick the food. Or, come on, man.
It's such a bummer that people are just jerks like that.
And it's kids, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
I was just never taught like that. Like,
Well, it's not like their parents were like, go out there and cause some trouble, kids.
some
Go out
of them
there and
might.
lick food.
As long as they're not in my house ruining my stuff, some people don't care.
Yeah. Maybe Bill, somebody said, can start one of these restaurants, but use model trains to be moving the food.
No,
This
that
is
exists.
But this is the perfect way for you to get in on what your post-showbiz retirement plans are.
I don't want to run a restaurant. When I'm doing model trains, I want that to be my focus. I'm not trying to also run a restaurant while I'm doing my model trains. It's just my own little world. Nobody else is even allowed in that room.
Oh, no.
I mean, they can come in. They just can't touch. You can't touch anything. If you touch anything.
What's in these oil tankers? Don't ask.
It's not anything bad. It's just my little space.
Listen, I like to envision a post-showbiz world in which our own Bill Squire is a restaurateur of the highest order. He's got this canal restaurant. He's got Big Billy's Burger Buffet out there in international waters where you get fined $600 or something if you don't eat one of the hamburgers.
There's no hamburgers.
There's no hamburgers.
There's no
It's the whole
hamburgers.
chickens.
It's a chicken.
Yeah.
It's 3 rotisserie chickens. One is in the middle. The other 2 are the bun. And they're all smashed together.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to eat it, and there's bones in it.
Alan Bill's idea is close to mine. I want to have a restaurant called Nothing But Broth. The only thing we serve is, you guessed it, broth. David Lee Broth would be a great name for like a miso soup restaurant or pho. You know, the kids love the pho. Oh, my God, it's amazing. Have you had pho?
Yes.
Have I had
it's great.
broth with meat and vegetables? Yes, I have.
Now, if I did a pho restaurant, it would be self-serve, and it'd be called Go Pho Yourself.
Right into the camera.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Hey.
Hey, yo.
March 31st, April 1st.
There you
Funny
go.
Stop Comedy Club. Get those tickets.
That's
Sell
right.
this boy out.
Alan, I know somebody who was fired for licking a donut that was then given to a customer.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Oh, boy. Jesus, I went to get donuts. It's becoming a Saturday morning thing now before my daughter starts soccer in the spring, where it becomes more of an official thing. She goes, man, I'd love a donut. And I know what that means. I got my marching orders. So I'll go off to get donuts. So I go out to the Dunkin' Donuts on Saturday morning. And donut places, you have to get there right when they open or everything's picked through, right? You can't go to a donut place.
Well, especially on a Saturday.
Right, that's right.
Yeah.
You can't go to a donut place at noon. A lot of people are pulling through to get coffee. Now, I have the same idea that everybody else has, which is everybody's in line in the drive-thru. I'm going to park in the lot, and I'm going to walk in. Then you end up in this huge line because everybody had the same idea. But I finally walk up there, and this girl, all of 16, 17 years old, is saying she just looks frazzled, and I can whatever. I get it. So I'm trying to be a cool guy, and I'm like, this is how many I want, so they can get the box ready. And I go, I like one of those. And she's just standing there looking at the racks of donuts. And again, they're kind of picked through, so there are far fewer left than there would normally be. And she's standing there looking at all of them. She can't find the one I'm asking for, which is right in front of her. And I go, it's right there. And she's looking at her. She goes, I'm kind of out of it. And she's looking around. I go, it's right there. Nope. I'm like guiding her right there. And she goes, oh, okay, I'm sorry. And then I ask her for the next one. She's looking around again. Again, it's right next to the one that was right in front. I go, it's right there. It's Boy, it's right there. You're just, nope. I'm walking this girl through it, and I walk out, and I go, I'm trying to be a cool guy with people, right? I'm a progressive person, but I go, that's why people don't want to pay them $15 an hour. That's why people resist that kind of stuff. Because she's standing there staring right at it with this, if you'll pardon the pun, glazed look in her eyes. And I'm walking her through I go, how about if I hop back there and I'll just do it? I didn't say that, of course. I thought that in my head. I don't want to be rude. But there it is. There's your food news for the... Oh, my. I've got to take a break. If you're on hold, I'll grab you on the way back. If you want to send a text, 35192.